The ocean hides more than just shipwrecks and coral reefs. In its darkest corners, divers have encountered things that defy explanation, terrifying, tragic, and utterly surreal. From eerie noises in underwater caves to giant unknown creatures lurking in the deep. These are 10 underwater encounters that will haunt your dreams, ranked from strange to truly nightmarish. Number 10. During a routine dive, something went terribly wrong. One of the divers suddenly stopped moving, unconscious from a lack of air. His partner didn't panic. With incredible precision, he grabbed the man's jaw to keep his mouth closed and his airway intact, knowing that a single breath of water could be fatal. Without surfacing too quickly, which could cause serious injury, he swam upward as fast as it was safe to do, holding his friend steady while the last traces of air escaped his body. Once they broke the surface, he immediately removed the nose clip and began tapping his friend's face, desperate to bring him back. Few people understand how fragile the line between life and death becomes underwater. In this case, it was measured in seconds, and the outcome could have been much worse. Number 9. A diver swims calmly through an underwater cave. Everything seems normal until a strange sound breaks the silence. As she moves forward, she hears more noises, some of them resembling distant screams. The source is unclear, and the diver doesn't seem to find anything unusual in her surroundings. Still, the sounds continue, echoing through the cave like something calling from deep inside. The recording ends without explanation, leaving only questions about what or who might have made those sounds. Number 8. During an underwater search, a diver came across something that, at first glance, looked truly disturbing.
Oh, dude, that's real. That is 100% a human hand. That is a human hand. That's a human hand, Jeremy. We need to call the police right now.
A pale human hand, dressed in traditional-looking clothing, seemingly trapped under a large rock. The fingers were delicate, with painted nails, and the pose looked eerily lifelike. For a few moments, it appeared to be a body, maybe a drowning victim, or someone lost long ago. But as the diver got closer, it became clear that it wasn't a person at all. The hand was too still, the skin too smooth, and the folds of the clothing too perfect. It was most likely a mannequin, or perhaps a ceremonial doll that somehow ended up underwater. The moment was brief but unsettling. In the silence of the deep, it's hard to trust your eyes. Even when logic explains what you're seeing, the initial shock of finding something that resembles a corpse, especially one dressed like that, stays with you long after you've surfaced. Number 7. A diver is recording underwater at night. The visibility is low and the water is completely still. He moves his light across the scene, revealing murky surroundings with fragments of debris. Everything remains quiet for several seconds, until, without warning, a figure appears just inches from the camera. It's a woman with wide, staring eyes and an unsettling expression. Her face is fully illuminated by the diver's light, frozen in what looks like a scream or manic grin. The moment is brief but jarring. Her sudden appearance, so close and without any sound, makes it feel like a jump scare pulled from a horror film. There's no reaction from the figure. She doesn't swim away or speak. Then the clip ends. Whether it was an actor, a prank, or something unexplained, the intensity of the image continues to disturb those who've seen it. Number 6. Two divers were exploring waters off the coast of New Zealand when they encountered something they couldn't immediately identify. Floating just ahead of them was a massive worm-like creature, long, hollow, and pulsating as it moved gently with the current. It wasn't a single animal, but rather a colony of tiny organisms known as pyrosomes. Although these creatures are known to exist in the Pacific, they rarely reach this size, and most people never see them outside of laboratory samples or fishing nets. The divers swam slowly around it, careful not to disturb its movements. It shimmered slightly and shifted shape as it passed. One of them later described it as both confusing and beautiful, a creature unlike anything he had ever seen before, despite years of experience in the ocean. Though pyrosomes are harmless, encountering one of this size so unexpectedly made for a surreal and unforgettable moment deep beneath the surface. Number 5. A group of divers is underwater, communicating through hand signals. It seems like they're about to begin their ascent. Everything appears calm and coordinated, but then one of the divers suddenly panics. Without warning, she pulls off her mask and air supply. The diver recording the moment reacts immediately, swimming toward her and trying to help her reconnect the equipment. He struggles to get the mouthpiece back in place, but she's moving erratically, making it impossible to secure it. Realizing he can't fix the situation underwater, he grabs her and begins a rapid ascent to the surface. The footage ends shortly after, but it's clear that time was critical. Fortunately, the diver survived. Or at least that's what was reported afterward. Still, the moment is a reminder that even experienced divers can face sudden, overwhelming fear. And in those situations, reaction time means everything. Number 4. A rescue diver is searching through the remains of a sunken vessel, over 30 meters below the surface, when he discovers something completely unexpected.
Okay. All right. Okay, just reassure him. Give him a thumbs up. Reassure him. Okay, reassure him. Keep listening to me, okay? All right, we're going now. Put your head underwater and breathe comfortably, okay?
A man, alive, trapped in an air pocket. The man is Harrison O'Keefe, a cook who had survived for 3 days underwater after the tugboat he was working on capsized off the coast of Nigeria. With no light, no food, and surrounded by darkness, he managed to stay alive by finding a small air bubble inside the wreck. When the diver enters the compartment, you can hear Harrison gasp, both from shock and relief. His hand reaches out from the darkness, and the moment is both emotional and surreal. Against all odds, he was pulled to safety and survived the ordeal. His rescue became one of the most astonishing underwater survival stories ever documented.
Just take him nice and sturdy, okay? Hold your umbilical, Harrison. Don't let go, okay?
Number 3. A diver is working underwater, seemingly performing a task near the seafloor. Everything is calm until a large fish suddenly darts into the frame. It's a swordfish. In an instant, it strikes with full force and drives its bill directly into the diver's air tank. The impact is violent and unexpected. The diver begins to ascend rapidly, the swordfish still lodged in his equipment. There's no time to react or defend. The attack is over in seconds, but the consequences could have been fatal. A pierced tank can mean loss of air, or even explosions under pressure. Luckily, the diver made it to the surface and survived. Why the swordfish attacked remains unknown. Some say it may have felt threatened or disoriented. But whatever the reason, this rare and aggressive encounter became one of the most shocking moments ever caught underwater. Number 2. A group of divers floats calmly in open water. Not far from them, a great white shark circles at a distance. At first, there's no reason to panic. The shark seems uninterested, and the divers remain still, observing from a safe position. But that changes quickly. The shark begins to move closer, zeroing in on one diver in particular. Without hesitation, it lunges. There's a moment of chaos as the massive predator bites down, reportedly catching one of the diver's feet. The rest of the group reacts instantly. They move toward the shark, waving and making noise, trying to scare it off. After a few tense seconds, the animal retreats, leaving the diver shaken, but alive. It's a powerful reminder that even experienced dive teams, trained for these encounters, are never fully safe when face-to-face with one of the ocean's top predators. After near-death experiences, panic underwater, and even a face-to-face encounter with a great white shark, you might think nothing could be more terrifying. But what happened in the Arctic waters of Russia still leaves experienced divers speechless. Not because of what was seen, but because one of them never came back. Number 1. In 1997, a Russian research team conducted a deep-sea mission in the Barents Sea near the Arctic Circle. Their task was to inspect an old submerged facility, believed to be abandoned since the Cold War. Everything went according to plan, until the team entered one of the lower chambers. According to a testimony released years later, one of the divers was suddenly pulled into the darkness by something none of the others could clearly identify. The description they gave was vague but haunting. A massive shape with long, thin appendages, moving in ways no known animal should. Panic set in. The remaining team members tried to follow, but the diver had vanished. Communications failed, and after a short search, the crew was forced to resurface. The incident was later labeled a technical accident, and the area was restricted from further exploration. But among divers, the story still circulates, and the name they gave to what they saw remains unforgettable: the Steel Leviathan.